What's that? You need a cup of something? Cup of Joe?
Hi, everyone. Today I have special guest Adrian Estive. Adrian is the coach of Juvenil boys at Levante in Spain. Adrian is a good friend of mine. I'm very lucky to have him today on a cup of Joe with Mendo. So, Adrian, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited to see you again and to share my experience with all of you.
Awesome. So today, I know obviously we're going through a difficult time with the whole pandemic and the whole COVID-19. And as we are here in the US, where we have struggles at the soccer level, right? And I wanted to know more about your experiences with the pandemic with your team at Levante. So what are some of the things that you're doing to help your players from home?
So it has been a difficult days for us. I mean, everyone had life a difficult situation, but what we did is to keep working with them, and not only in the physical way. I mean, we have met a lot of times doing videos with them in a specific position. Uh, we show them a lot of videos of different situations, how to build up, how to attack the last third, how to defend, how to press high. Uh, they keep learning.
Good, very good. So now, obviously, we're all working from home now. How many times a week do you require or meet with your players to discuss football? And if that is reviewing video or just meeting as a team, how often do you meet?
Yes, at the beginning of the lockdown, we started doing those meetings 4 times a week, and we distributed the, the sessions, the meetings, by situations of the game. For example, on Mondays, we show them videos related with the how to attack the final third, for instance. Wednesday, how to defend our own box, set pieces on Thursday, and all the Fridays we have individual meetings by positions, and what we work with them was that the staff have cut videos of the elite player related with the position.
Okay.
And we show them some tactical aspects related with, for instance, the center backs, the strikers, the wingers, midfielders, and fullbacks, and goalkeepers with the goalkeeper training.
Oh, wow. And now, I mean, that's great to hear, because even, with us at the university level, as well as, the youth level, teams are meeting on Zoom or other platforms to discuss. So my next question for you is, how long are your meetings? I know when I was in Spain with you visiting a couple years ago, we talked about the attention of the player and utilizing in the time to really make sure the players are learning. We don't want to go and talk for too long, because we might lose the attention of the player. So do you plan your sessions where they're not as long, but they're effective? How do you go about that?
That was important for us, because we didn't lose the important aspect of the game that for us is the competition. I mean, we didn't have the chance to keep competing with our opponents, but what we did at the beginning of the lockdown is to make some groups into our team, and we change the group from 1 week to the next week. So they competed between them.
Okay.
For instance, I prepare the whole list of video that I give them before the session. For example, 10 videos related about beginning of play, from the goalkeeper to reach the goal, for different matches. Once I have it, I prepare the groups. So the whole team, we meet in Zoom. I explained the dynamic in 5-10 minutes, and then one coach of the staff we distribute in each group, and each group has an independent Zoom.
Okay.
And they have 40 minutes to fill an Excel that they have questions about the videos I give them.
Okay.
Once they had filled the Excel, we meet again on Zoom, the whole team, and make some conclusions about what they watch.
Okay. Wow. And do you feel
More or less 1 hour, 1 hour and 10, the
Okay.
entire dynamic, because you know that the attention is very important. And I told you before that we start doing this 3 times per week, and 1 day for positional aspects, specific aspects. The next weeks, at the end of the lockdown, we had to reduce our time, because it's very stressful to stay locked down during 1, 2 months, 3 months,
right.
And did it 2-3 times per week, the sessions.
Right. And for everyone listening, it's important to note that the category juvenil is a range of 17 to 19 years old, more or less. And with that, I think it's a great amount of time where these players are older. They might have the ambition to play professionally, where you can stretch the amount of time that you work with those players. And I think for you, of course, also working with younger ages a couple of years ago, do you feel as though the time working with players would be less, say, if you were working with players of 12 years old, or even in cadete around 14 or 15, or would you keep it still around an hour?
For us, Alex, and after that I answer your question. For us, was important to maintain the same hours that we had before the lockdown, to keep the routine for them, because we know that they have a lot of free time staying at home. But for us, it was very important to keep their routine. We knew that they had to go, because they had meetings in Zoom with the school, to go to school. We knew that they had to have free time, but they had to keep their routine. So before the lockdown, we trained from 5 to 7 p.m. And during the lockdown, we train from 5 to 7, or to 7 p.m. because after our meetings they had to make the physical train. the physical
Okay.
with the physical trainer, the physical session. So the question is that if for me it's too much hour of in the younger, in my opinion, we had to reduce the hour. For this kind of training session, I mean, with video session, I think for the youngest, it's not very important because what they have to have is a lot of hours to practice football. But once they grow, I think the video is an important tool for us, for coaches, to teach them some specific aspects that in the field it's difficult to show them because you need some technology that it's very expensive or we don't know how to use it. So for us it's very important to, for example, record a training session, make some cuts, and after that make a meeting with, for instance, the midfielders and show them some specific points about the training session or the comparing to professional players. You have multiple choices to reach the objective.
Wow. I mean, that's awesome to hear. And I think that's too with getting on virtually like this, it's so important nowadays. And hopefully soon you'll be able to return to outside training. And now I wanted to talk a little bit about at Levante, where the academy and the first team, let alone, is competing in La Liga. Now you have players from all over the country, right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, here the country, I mean Spain, is not a big country, but it's really that we have players that they are far from their house, their home, 2-3 hours by plane, or even 10 hours by car. So for them, it's difficult. Not only in Levante, my experience that I have in Villarreal was the same. We had a lot of players that they live far from his home, from their home, and they are very young. They are very young. I mean, we are talking about players that they are 12, 13 years old. So they live a very specific situation in their life. So not only we have to be a coach, we have to be their second family.
Right.
You know, we have to be very close of them, taking account about their problems, their academy issues, stay very close about hear them. It's very important because coaches normally they want to put their ideas over the ideas of the kid, and it's very important first of all to hear them, and after that you can make your conclusions, but with the objective to help them, not to put your ideas over them because it's fail. You're gonna fail for sure because they live other situation that really you as a coach you don't have to you didn't be prepared to live at their age, for example.
Right.
When I was 12 years old, for me was impossible to think that I was living far from my home, and the situation is very hard. But you have this double role, coach and family.
Right. Well, that's great to hear, and I really hope you guys get outside soon and continue to the new normal, right, as they say. So I have one last question for you, Adrian.
Mhm.
So when are you coming back to New York to visit us?
It's a good question. When you invite me, Alex, because uh, I was the pleasure to share with you 3 years ago.
Yes.
3 years ago, in your camp in Northport. For me, it was a great experience because it was my first time in US, in New York, training with you guys, and for me, would be a pleasure to share with you again my little knowledge and
Okay.
to take profit of your knowledge, and to enjoy the experience.
Right. Well, you know, Adrian, that you're always welcome here. And if I don't get to see you back in New York, I'll come visit you in Valencia. Okay. And
For sure.
all right. Well, thank you for joining me today. And I hope to talk with you soon.
Thank you, Alex.
Wilson from Brazil.